Ultimate Team. Long shot. Franchise. Exhibition. Exhibition. Customize. Customize. Long exhibition. Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Brandon Godden. He's Charles Davis. Full disclosure, we both have mittens. We both have coats on up here in the booth. This one, it's going to be interesting.
I've got the long johns, the socks, the boots, you name it. You know me in cold weather, we don't get along all that well. But these games are always interesting because you never know how it's going to play out. One slip, someone's going for 80 yards, and you could lose a game.
What we can see of the ball appears to be teed up and ready to go. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And as we see so free... here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25.
Double tight. Here goes hot. Like 20.
Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. Let's talk about the starting lineup offensively for the Denver Broncos, and let's talk about Devontae Booker.
I always described him as a guy who 8 carries in college, meaning just keep handing it to him, and he got better as the game went on. Had a knee injury his last year at Utah, comes in a little bit older than your average back, but boys, he's skilled and talented. And he emulates Emmitt Smith in one way, loves to keep the ball in his left hand at all times.
A second down carry for Booker. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling, right? The right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you. You got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Hey, we got. All right, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is caught inside the 5.
I'm gonna hit
And
you
he's brought
all
down.
day, baby.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
We got double tight. Leopard.
He'll look to throw. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey there to make the grab. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. That's why you got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Keenum. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking. That first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go now.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going long here for Wallace. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Wallace, 75 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Keenum. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
SOS.
They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. And now running right through him. Gets through, and now an opening. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, 62 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now, but he said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Brandon Graham. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they radar. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
4 down. Run!
The drive starts with Devontae Booker. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what we talked with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And out now come the Eagles. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time.
It got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And give him a gain of 37.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
He's going to float this over the middle deep. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
At 3 touchdowns. Passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw, it's Keenum. And his throw here's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long, it's Keenum. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
Three.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, not that we had any questions, but it's obvious his arm does not hurt today, does it? He does not mind slinging it around.
He is firing that pigskin around the yard.
Yeah, putting it deep downfield, taking shots. Unsuccessful there, but I like his moxie.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 58 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it go deep. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Wallace with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles are pouring it on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start out, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Here goes hot. Like 20.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. Pressure from behind, and he's going to be thrown down. Derek Barnett in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Double tight.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they're going to measure revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Going to look deep for Jeffrey. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Let's go.
Alshon Jeffrey doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Eagles continue to roll.
Keep it rolling, baby. Keep it rolling.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the route is on here in this first half. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Nice hit, boy.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll give it to him up the middle. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles are pouring it on. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. And he's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Looking for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Eagles continue to roll. He's on pace now for 12 rushing touchdowns. And I think he's making fantasy owners smile.
I think you've got to change something on defense, don't you? I mean, we often talk about using a spy on a quarterback who has the ability to run and maneuver outside of the pocket. Maybe they need to change that to spying him, because this many touchdowns this early, that is demoralizing for a defense. One guy breaking them down.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big
rush coming, and he's taken down.
Blitz, 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 blitz.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Keenum to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go.